Guys, what's going on, everyone? We are back for another Technical Tuesday. I believe this is 91 because we did a live stream last week, which was because of Labor Day and other things. So thank you guys for being flexible with us with this spontaneous live event. Some of you were able to join, and that was great. But this week we are just going old school, I guess, back to our roots and just answering questions.
Whoa. If it was old school, we'd be doing this with my tripod, some
that is
big clampy paper clips, rubber bands to hold the thing, using Ben's iPhone.
But we are
a janky old DJI mic.
That's true. We did get a new camera. You can't tell here. This is still the same camera. We did get a new camera. We're going to build this media room out and have a nice little podcasting section and different angles, camera angles, so we'll try to make it more entertaining for those of you watching on YouTube, and then we'll also see about spreading out I guess, as a podcast to more channels, maybe through Spotify, maybe through Apple's podcasting network. We'll kind of see how that goes, just to kind of spread it out a little bit more, because we know some of you guys aren't just watching us on YouTube, but rather listening as you drive and do all those things. So try to make it as better and more available to people. Or maybe you're working on your car as you're listening to this. So
speaking of listening, I got bored the other day. I was messing with a new microphone I got, and I narrated one of my documents.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. I did the whole
an
voice
audiobook
thing.
tech document
with
Tim
was awful.
from Aces. No, okay. But that's actually wild. I'm sure that's a doozy of a
You should see
to.
the fantasy variant of the tech document I rewrote.
That's insane.
I call it Tech Spice.
No. We don't do this. I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go. What I've decided to do this time, normally we go to each old video, which the last one would have been the live Tech Tuesday, but I realize some of you guys are leaving comments on other videos that go unaddressed, I have found, and so I'm going to try to pull from them as well, not just last week's. One, it gives you a little bit of a longer episode of Tech Tuesday to watch or listen to, and maybe cover more questions. And two, some of you guys don't even know that your comments are being addressed because we can't get to them. So I'm going to try to pull them into the Tech Tuesday segment. I know the last one or two has been a little bit shorter. Well, I guess we did a live for an hour last week, so it wasn't short.
But we hit all of them.
But yes, we'll do our best to get to as many of these as possible and try to address as many questions. But the last thing I'll do before we start answering questions, Tim, do you have any questions, quibbles, tips, tricks, fashion statement tips for our audience and the industry before we begin?
I would say if you work in the corporate environment and you get new, fresh carpet in your office, let it ventilate some, because that stink will take you on a journey.
Yeah. You start hallucinating.
You're writing an email and you're going on an adventure.
No, that's good.
I think it damaged brain.
Mm-hmm. I think it damage.
Yes.
Brain damage.
That's all right. We got it in here, too. It's actually not as bad as it was last week in here.
Yeah. I think it's because it's a little bit touching the outside, and I'm sure there's a opening in that door somewhere. But, guys, I want to say one more thing before we jump into the questions. All of you guys that came out to the show this weekend in Nashville, the Triple Crown of Rodding, thank you all for coming out, bringing your Aces systems. There are so many of you. James, Nathan, multiple Nathans, Curtis. There's so many names. Guys, Mark, all of you that came out to do an interview, those that came to showcase Aces at such a large event. Well, first of all, it was great, even though it rained on Saturday. But you all coming out, supporting Aces, repping Aces, you'll start seeing some of those videos soon. Just thank you. It meant a lot, and we'll keep doing that moving forward. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, this weekend was wild for weather. I was out doing other things. They were at a show having a really good time. I seen a lot of cool pictures in the group chats and obviously on social media. But from another source, there was another major event going on called LS Fest.
Yeah, we're not allowed there. Unless, Holly, you're watching this and you want
I don't know. Everybody needs a little good competition. But
Come
the
on,
thing
guys.
is, We didn't need to be there because from what I understand, there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of Aces powered LS cars at LS Fest, repping hard, hoods popped, people having a good time.
Yep.
But it's all car stuff at the end of the day.
True.
And
Very true.
I'm hoping that circled back around next year, I get the opportunity when I'm done with what I'm doing to step out of the office a little bit more and go to some of these events.
Yep.
But I've got to put some things in place first before I could even walk outside into the sunlight.
Yep. Nope, it's true. Okay. All that foreground, I guess, covered. We'll jump right into the questions. The first one comes from Matt Noel 580. He says, how do you go about tuning for tip-in? I have an 01 Camaro with a 5.3 and a jackpot. Car idles good, but between off idle and about 1,000 RPM, the car tries to stall. I can pedal the throttle and get it above 1,000 RPM, and it runs great. I'm currently swapping cams, thinking the cam that I had was too aggressive for the 5.3 and hoping that helps. But any advice on tip-in tuning would be greatly appreciated.
So, super fun fact, when you're doing LS swaps, so my 1-ton's very stock motor, extraordinarily built, 4L80, idles buttery smooth. And I actually fixed all my exhaust leaks, and Ben knows what kind of cars I drive. They all have exhaust leaks.
They're incredibly clean, very mint condition. Everything is done to the T. So
yeah, well, all the maintenance is done really well, but they're all buckets. Anyways, so
paint.
What happened? Yeah, they had paint at some point. It's funny. When one time, if you slam the door hard enough, it does get a little bit lighter with every door slam. It's amazing. It's rusty.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no floor pans.
I was trying to figure out what you meant by that, but no.
You'll see. One day you'll have to ride my truck, and you're like, oh.
Oh, I have. I've driven it. Oh, maybe that's the Tahoe.
That's the Tahoe. Tahoe is also another thing that was a $500 truck with very aggressive trans. Right. What you run into on this, you're idling, you drop it in gear, it does a fine job, you ease into the throttle, and you go to get out onto the road, and it goes, ugh. You have to pedal through it a little bit. Some of that in a 5.3 may not actually be not enough fuel. You may be ramping timing in too fast, and it has a bit too much fuel. So because I have that exact thing going on in my personal daily, I decided not to fix it yet until there's a camera present. So that means I got to borrow his camera guy,
or me.
Or you, if you're available. I don't know. But we're going to show that exact thing on my particular personal, very rusty vehicle with a 5.3 swap.
Let's do it. I love that idea.
Because it does exactly what this guy's saying, and it's a great opportunity to be like, let me show you how to fix that exact thing. Mm-hmm. There's some airflow adjustments, there's some fuel adjustments, there's some timing adjustments you can do to overcome that. But also not going to do any burnouts in that truck. It's got a 410 gear, 4L80, overbuilt, whooped out 5.3 motor out of a Tahoe, and probably about $1,600 worth of 10-ply Kevlars on it. Mm-hmm. So it's a 1-ton.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, there's that. I like you brought that up because this is exactly what I ran into, and I'm like, yes, I need to show this.
Let's do it. Arcadiac 5983. What wires are compatible with your distributor?
Spiral core, EFI rated wires, not solid core wires. So they need to have a bit of a resistance value per foot. You can use 8s, you can use 10s, you can use 6s. But ultimately, spiral core resistor style wire with the appropriate plugs. Don't get iridiums and split this, that, and the other double star awesome things. Get what that motor really needed. So if you got an old classic motor, get some coppers in there. If you got an LS, get the factory iridiums that come in a thing or what have you, or platinums or whatever. Don't get a gimmicky plug that costs $30 a plug. Get the ones that should take, because you're going to get the best performance out of those. There's a reason those things exist. Too often we get people in with this TBI system and a hopped up nice motor, and they get some really gimmicky spark plug. More issues with some split fire, crossfire, something, E3 plug. They're like, man, this thing runs awful. And we're like, hey, just get a copper core plug and put in that thing, and poof, all the issues are gone.
It's true.
It's like magic.
I'll let you read the next one.
Yep. Spiral core.
Spiral core.
BryantStilwell. Cuda. Oh, he's a Mopar guy. Never mind.
Dude.
383 back. His 383 is back in and alive. Fusion's been putting in the work on the dyno and the street.
Yep.
I do, however, need to get my hands on a Killshot 2/Pro so I can play around with a higher resolution while I wait for the multi-port fuel injection intake modifications to continue thrashing on it a bit with the Joker. RIP Junkyard 440. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I like
and
it.
he still needs to get merch. Still
ain't
send
sending him his hats.
Nope.
Still ain't sending.
I actually have it.
He goes to a lot of shows and he's trying to rep the stuff, but he's one of our authorized tuners. Really good guy. If you guys ever get anything tuned by him, super reasonable and just all the way around the block. Just really happy to help.
I told Mr. Webster this weekend that we will be sending those out this week.
Yeah.
But he rolls his eyes. We had a show this weekend.
Are you tracking that, Brian? You good?
He actually, by the time this releases, he should have the tracking for that.
I think he's going to duct tape drags.
We should also be going to duct tape.
He was helping a certain higher level influencer doing some wet sanding on a
some
car
guy,
this weekend.
Some small
Some
guy. I don't know. He likes to do things.
Small
with
guy because that dude lost some
you
weight, dude. He's actually doing good on the health side. He used to be bigger than me at one point.
Some guy that likes to talk about fuel make it happeners and things like
good
that.
Good dude.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, Bryant. We can work that out for sure.
$69.99.
Mm-hmm.
This was a carburetor engine, and you can install the intake. Maybe I'm not tracking that right.
I'm not really sure.
This was a carburetor engine, and you can install the intake.
This intake. So I guess he's questioning whether or not he can install that style of intake on the black truck when we swapped it over to multi-port.
Yeah, that particular engine was pre-1987 engine, even though it's a 1987 truck. It bolts on. The only difference, like in some of those intakes, is the center 4-bolt pattern.
Mm-hmm.
We go from like the 1955 to 86, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So those will work. But if you own the thing and you want to modify it, that's up to you. It just kills the warranty on the intake itself whenever you take a drill bit and straighten out the holes.
Frank Lowe, 961. I have a stock 64 Impala fuel tank.
That's a problem.
So no return line. What would you suggest to do for return? I'd be interested in a Fusion Plus Command Center 2 and my mechanical. I'm no mechanic, but I get around. Just need to clear things up for myself.
If you're going to do that, I would recommend you can go with the Tanks Inc. tank that already has a fuel pump in the tank. That's an EFI rated pump. I mean, it may lose us to sell on the Command Center 2, but you may be able to get a pre-regulated in-tank pump that you run a single line up, and you should be able to get one to fit that 64 Impala. I know on Gage's car, they just they added a return line and modified a vent and did that. So they modified the sending unit on it, essentially. I have taken the factory sending unit on some of the older cars, put a big hole in the top of it, took it out, didn't get it near the fuel tank, but took it out, drilled a big hole in the very top of it because, that hat's yay big around, not very big. And I put a bulkhead fitting on with a dip tube for my return, and it has an AN6 fitting on it. So the bulkhead fittings that comes with some of the kits work just fine.
Cool.
I'd check out Tanks Inc. first. It's not crazy money to do that.
You can find those just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
You read the next one. That's what I meant. Sorry. Maybe I should have been more clear. Or do I need to read them because you have your glasses?
I can't read that, dude.
Okay. Matthew Regia.
What's wrong with
Matthew Regia?
Yeah, that's what he said.
8598. Can I install it on my 350? I have a carburetor mount on it. Thanks. Also talking about the LS. Can I install it on my 350? You can't install a jackpot on a 350.
Not yet, at least. But what you can do is go with any of the multi-port systems, Wildcard, Joker, etc. any of the kill shot series,
Yep.
they're gonna be a banger for you. Jackpot's just for the LS stuff, Hemi stuff, and other variations we'll come out with.
Hawaii or Huffman 9900.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get an IAC and TPS setup video?
I did that on the I did the IAC video and zeroing the TPS already. Unfortunately, there is one that's just IAC. It's me adjusting my Tahoe. I don't remember if it was throttle body or multi-port I did that on, but we already have that video out there.
Yep. Timewarp-Racing, you guys are rocking. Keep up the good work. Thanks, dudes. You as well, Ted. Good to see you.
Ted, I'm working through some software right now.
I sent him a picture.
Yeah.
SouthEdge.
Did he like it?
Oh, bro. He loved it. SouthEdgeDragRacing. Why would I get a weird hesitation on a 1500 or 2000 RPM when I kick the throttle down on a Jackpot LS Pro on my 5.3 LS TE? Rest of the time, it feels great just around there. Even at high RPM, it's working great.
You might just need a little bit of touch of fuel at the very tippy top of the map right above 1500 to 2000. Sometimes they're about 10% deficient. I would look there to make sure it's not going like crazy lean at that spot or crazy rich. So I would look at what the data looks like. If it's going too much on the lean side, you're going to have like an oddball hesitation right there. It's just tip-in lean bog type thing, even though it's a multi-port setup. But sometimes the fuel is incorrect, even on our calibrations, because we don't know the wheel, the gear, the so on and so forths. So we just kind of base it all off of a 4L60E 373 gear with about a 29-inch tire on average. That's what we do a lot of the testing on. As soon as I get my dyno reinstalled at this new place, I'll be going through heavily on making even better, newer calibrations already on top of the pretty good calibrations we currently have.
Yeah.
All my stuff will run on the Wizard and make adjustments and then just send it back to the engineering group that does that particular section so that the next software or firmware that comes out, that calibration is just that much closer.
Fair enough.
I've done a lot of tuning.
Junk496 says, never use silicone on O-rings, people.
Depending on what the O-ring is.
You mean never use an O-ring made out of silicone or something else?
I don't know. It's a response to a video over here.
Oh, that's right. Jackpot TBI installation guide.
Yeah,
I don't honestly remember what was in that. We can go in and review that too, and I'll respond back, but I don't remember.
Jackpot TBI installation guide. I don't know. That it could have been in reference to the actual engine it was installed on, because there was some jank stuff on there. But yeah, in general purpose, depending on the situation, don't use silicone sealant when O-rings are present.
Fair enough.
It'll give out eventually. Then it makes a mess and it doesn't look cool.
I'll have to look and see. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I've seen that video. SalemComputer, can you make the learn table and the VE table have the same data points on the X and Y?
Yes, we've done that with the Killshot 2, Jackpot 2, and other systems of the second generation. We had to put a bigger, beefier, nastier chip in there to be able to accommodate for those larger VE tables, and they're really neat. They're 31 by 31 now, same as the learn table. So we have accomplished that. The older generation won't do it because there's not enough RAM in the current MCU to make those things happen without drastically slowing down other background processes that the system is extremely dependent on.
Yep.
It's still fast. We just do a lot with it.
Yep. Nino Risk 4707. What platform are you guys going live for on Tech Talk? Because I'm in Cali and see the videos on YouTube after you post it. We do lives on YouTube, and
we use OBS, which is a good software.
Most of the time we are. Most of the time, at least recently, we've just, as when we have needed to do a live, we've just flipped on the camera and done a live, but we've also scheduled them out, like when we did the one at Ken's and installed the jackpot, and some other ones before that were all scheduled. So, and we plan to do that more in the future. But usually when we are picking or doing a live, it's going to be around 12 p.m. EST to 2 p.m. EST, because we're trying to figure out who's going to be on lunch break.
That's pretty much it. That's
at
pretty
that
much
time.
It.
So sometimes we've done it 12 to 1 to cater to the Eastern time. Sometimes we've done 1 to 2. Sometimes we've done it after 2.
And then unless you're a project manager, then you're probably just watching this on your phone anyways at your desk.
Or
just
in your
saying,
truck. Or in your truck.
Or in your truck.
No. But that's how we typically go about it. But we'll oftentimes, when we schedule it ahead of time, we'll either make a post or send an email or both. Jonathan Matthews, 2949. Will that work with a progression ignition distributor, small block Chevy HEI Fusion? Talking about the Fusion.
Fusions work great with them things. It actually gets quite a lot out of the coil because of the fact it's an HEI and the system ain't driving it, so it's driving itself. And you just need you need to take that tack wire, hook it up to the tack in, mark it down as coil negative when you set the thing up, and send it. Mm-hmm. That way you can rely on your mechanical and vacuum advance and set up your own curve that way. System just going to run that fuel real nice. But yeah, I ran the first prototype pieced together Fusion on an HEI in my Tahoe and drove that thing around forever.
True that.
So,
let's see. Chevy 870. If I want to run a kill switch when I park, do I need to be on the negative or positive, or is it not safe? Jackpot, by the way.
Negative. You can do a negative. You don't want it to be on the same lead as like something that has a large amount of energy. It needs to saturate a coil. So go on the negative side of that. That's going to be a little bit safer for what you're doing. But hopefully if you got a dual pole switch, that means not everything is on one lug. It's on this one, and then there's a clean pole you can hook that negative to as well. That'll help mitigate a lot of those transient voltages going backwards through the thing. Even though it's on the negative side, it still comes from negative. So, yeah.
Next question comes from Robbie Hadaway, 5765. I would like to see a complete install in a factory rank, starting with drilling the 2 1/8 hole in tank. There are 6 tiny O-rings that go somewhere on the aluminum ring screws. Where do they go? If I already have a return in my tank, can I block up the return port on the pump? A complete step-by-step video would be beneficial to a lot of customers.
Oh, yeah, the tight end tank fit one. I did a video on the larger variant of that, which a lot of the same principles hold true. And yes, for the return on that, you could either turn it into a vent or you can turn it into a return if you like. It's up to you. But yeah, if you already got a return on your tank, you can plug that thing up. As long as the tank is vented appropriately, you're not going to run into any kind of oddball issues. The 6 tiny O-rings for the actual studs that stick through. That way they can seal up appropriately as well, because of where they're located at on the inside of the O-ring. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully that helps you out.
I think we can do more stuff on the fuel delivery systems too.
We'll probably do that. We'll probably do it in like a clear Walmart tote so you guys can see all the ins and outs, because I already have one kind of back there. I was building it up for a video, but we ended up moving. But I was going to show the filter, the regulator, the install, the this, that, and the others of the whole thing. I just need to make a metal lid for the top of that container so it seals nicely and doesn't make a mess.
Yeah. NoGarageGuy. Oh boy. Ben Poke. If you had permission, what muscle car would you build? Camaro, Mustang, Dart, or an LS swapped insert car here? Or are you like or more of like a mini truck guy? Small block S10, 5-point Ranger, etc. It's a great question.
He wants an old Bronco.
I'm not. I could go down for one of those. Tim almost went with me to look at or get a, I think it was a 1961 Plymouth Satellite or something.
It's an old school satellite.
But my heart and soul goes Mopar, but I also don't have Mopar money. So
nobody has Mopar money.
Well, that's what I found out to be the case. I had a conversation with Brian about that briefly.
It's crazy. You can make
I have no money because I have Mopar.
Yeah. It's either you have money for Mopars or the Mopar has your money.
Exactly. But we were at Pro Touring Truck Shootout, and I was able to drive one of the trucks. Chris,
he drove Chris Wheatcraft's C10, his LS Swap C10.
It was crazy. I don't know why he let me do that, but that was wild.
That was. And dude, he's got such fast cars.
It made me go. I didn't realize how the handling on that truck was as good, if not maybe better, than some of the muscle cars I had been in. So I was like, I might have to.
You got to look at whose vehicle that is.
So it was good. It was really good. So to answer your question, especially if I'm getting a house first, I probably would go truck based on the conversations I've had with Tim. I haven't decided on a truck, but go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, maybe do some fun things with it here and there. But I don't know. I'd probably stick GM. Keep it simple. Stupid.
He is a 1971 fleet size long bed regular cab, something with a 5-speed in it.
Everybody has an idea.
Teal green.
I do like green. I am a big fan of green.
I can see you driving that.
That would be great.
Maybe a short bed. I don't know if you're ready for a long bed. I don't think you. Yeah, you're gonna have to grow that mustache in a little thicker, son.
Oh my gosh. No, but as soon as Abigail and I are looking at houses, so as soon as we can, I'm sure there'll be a whole video series on me getting a car. Okay, or truck. Phil Farty. When will the boost controller be available?
The boost controller.
I don't even know if we're allowed to say.
When will be available? I don't have I don't have a target date on that. I'm waiting for the prototypes to show up so I can start doing some testing. Because I decided, because I knew that was coming down the way, so I'm like, hey, I got a great idea. I'll just build a turbo LS engine. So I got the finest eBay turbo.
Only the finest.
Yeah, only the finest. But whatever. I mean, so what if it goes into the intake? It's a Tahoe motor that I put rings and bearings in. I even gapped it and everything. It's good to go. But it'll be good enough to test what I'm testing, because I'm only going to run it on 5 pounds, but it will have dome pressure control. So whenever that shows up, I'm going to work through everything about it, and hopefully we get to video that, because it'll be in a secret project of mine.
Nino Risk 4707. Hello, Jackpot Light question. How would I go about self-tuning my Turbo LS? I know the Jackpot can't read the boost yet.
Yeah, I can.
But would the self-learning feature read the positive pressure from the turbo as it goes up and down the table? I don't need an HP number, and I have my external vacuum boost gauge to ready and stay within the ACES map sensor specs. No boost control, just wastegate PSI. Long answer, please.
Great. I'm glad you're doing this. So if you go into the, you plug in your laptop, do a thing, and you select your 3-bar map sensor, it'll automatically scale the tables, right? So it'll go whoosh with the map, the load section of it. Then what you do is you look at those values in the table. I would start with, I would add maybe 10 or 15% to the tippy top of that, and interpolate and go for a nice easy cruise to make sure your cruising area, non-boosted area, is really dialed in, hitting your target, so it gives you a better picture of what you should do with the top of that table afterwards. You're going to put fuel in there for safety. You're going to drive it and tune it in A, and then you're going to start easing into the boost to make sure you're hitting those targets appropriately. It's really not bad, but do be nice to the timing side of it. You will have to pull some timing out, because of the cylinder pressure itself is not going to like how much timing those things normally come set for. You're going to have to knock some out of there.
Yep. He also says, wait, there's a Jackpot 2. I just bought my Jackpot. There is not a Jackpot 2 yet. There is, as you've listened probably to these Tech Tuesdays, we have a second generation style of ECU for every system coming, but it is
Yeah,
not
true.
here yet. There will eventually be an ECU that says Jackpot 2, as well as all of our ECUs. But right now, it's just Wildcard and Killshot 2.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, we haven't like really released them.
Yeah,
So.
we're not going to put stuff out. We ain't absolutely ran through here in the building yet.
Yep.
Really want to get my dyno back up and going. I got plenty of stuff I want to break. I mean, test.
Mississippi Pig Gun Club. You guys should do a raffle. They shoot pigs. Guys should do a raffle. We should do a raffle. I think that's a great idea.
Hey, look, you replied, Ben.
I did. I said it's a great idea. We should do a raffle or something like that.
That'd be fun.
I would also like. I mean, maybe we do something like that for episode 100.
I think
Maybe
we
do
should
something
just,
bigger.
I think we should just think about what special thing we should do for episode 100. Because it's crazy. We start with an iPhone and literal the back closet.
I know. Hopefully the new stuff will be done by episode 100. It should, I would imagine. So we've got 9 episodes to do between now and then.
Come up with some kind of competition to
8
be able
episodes,
to needlessly
really.
give things away. So
No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
next, they don't let me give stuff away.
Talking about the Jackpot TBI, does it have integrated ignition system, or do I need an MSD? Coming from Alyssa Marie.
No. The Jackpot TBI, it'll run. You stick that thing on your LS motor with a carbureted style intake, send it. You don't have to get the ignition box to read the cam and crank because the Jackpot does it. It just knows that it's a Jackpot LS kit, but it runs a throttle body instead of a bunch of different injectors. So you still get coil and air plug. You still get the 24, the 58, whatever, NOx sensors, all that gig, except for it's running a classic style throttle body on top. So for people who want that classic vibe, then you get the special valve covers.
For people who want that classic vibe.
For people who want that classic vibe.
No, I agree. I think that's it. I do think that's all of the questions. We got back to inflood, which I think is one of the ones that we did in the last Tech Tuesday.
Yes.
We got Lawrenceveinotte, I believe is how you spell that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to buy the handheld to make this work? Where is the list of every component required to go from a carb and points vehicle? Talking about the Killshot Fusion.
Really subjective comment there.
Yeah.
So the thing is, every vehicle is different, so we're not going to tell you that your 1972, what have you not, with a small block in it needs exactly these things. Those lists don't exist on anybody's inventory. But what we do have is, appropriate distributor, coil, throttle body, fuel systems that can help you get in the right direction for getting that thing going.
Yep. I break it down for most people at shows. With 3 steps, you have your standalone, which is like the brain of the operation. Typically for TBIs, that is your throttle body, your wiring harness, your O2 sensor, your handheld. So I call that the brain. And then you go top end kit, which adds your ignition with TBIs, distributor, and coil. And then lastly, your master kit will include your EFI rated fuel delivery system. So, but like Tim said, it's all subjective based on what you need. And then for multi-port setups, also including Jackpot, LS, and Hemi, your standalone is, again, your brain, ECU, wiring harness, any sub harness you might need, and 2 O2 sensors. We include both of them for you, so you don't have to pay extra for it. Other competitors will not do that. And then top end kit includes your intake, your throttle body, your fuel rails, your injectors, all that wonderfulness. And then again, master kit includes that fuel delivery system.
Yeah, you do need the handheld for initial setup.
Yes. So obviously, you're
after you get it set up and running and happy, unplug the handheld, wrap it up, and throw it in your glove box. And if you need to look at something later, you can just plug it back in and have a look.
Or keep it plugged in.
No need. You don't
if
have
you want to.
Or get the Bluetooth module and just pair it to your phone.
Also facts.
Yes.
Also facts.
That way,
you don't have to
really
run a
wonder,
wire.
You just get your phone app out and look and be like, well, look at that. It's a thing.
Yep. Connie McColeman says, I love old school rides, talking about Clint's green Lincoln right there.
Yeah, that Lincoln is epic. The cool thing is I park near it every day too, so there's that.
Yep. Okay, I do think that is all we
I dare not drive it to work in Chattanooga traffic, though. I tell you that.
Would never do that.
Getting old Namacola in the morning,
Would not do that.
People move out the way for my 2012 Nissan Altima because they know what I'll do with it.
Or they dream. No.
I'm just like, I'm coming through.
Yeah.
My $800 car is going to win.
It might, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. People give me a really hard time about not driving nicer stuff. I'm like, everything I got's a test vehicle. I was like, everything I do is testing. I got a nice car back home. I just never drive it.
That's
I've drove it, twice in the last 3 years?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
That's true.
No.
You know, it was mine that had cat stickers on it.
That's also true. That's another conversation for another day. But
Kentucky Blue for a reason.
But yes. Agreed.
Go Vols. Something Alabama. I don't know.
Guys, thank you so much for watching
here.
This episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below. If you have comments about ACES fuel injection or EFI in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. We'll do our best to get to it in the next Tech Tuesday video.
Yes, very exciting.
If you have anybody or know anybody that is switching to fuel injection, send them our way. We'd do our best to help them out. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Tim, thanks for walking over to the studio.
30 foot.
And doing another Tech Tuesday. But for now, guys, we'll see all of you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye now.